spending your afternoon with us. We have a very action-packed and content-packed afternoon for you. 2 hours of downloading quite a few things about AI. I know all of you in the room here are keen to find out more about what AI can do. We hear a lot in the news today about AI, what there is in tools out there in the market, but the question is how do we utilize it, right? So we're all here today to find out a little bit more. My name is Fiona. I'm from Microsoft, and I'm the Skills Development Manager. So what I do at Microsoft is actually to work with our partners like NetAssist to bring such content to you guys. We work very closely with the small, medium businesses in the market to try to bridge the gaps between understanding how you can maximize the use of technology and how you can fill the gaps with the kind of skill sets that you need. What we've done is actually to create this program called Let's Scale Up program. I see some familiar faces in the room, so I think they've heard of it before. But those who have not, it's actually a program that is free for company. Yeah, it's free for companies to leverage on as a free advisory if you want to basically find out a little bit more of what you can do next in the market, what kind of trainings that you need, what kind of tools that you need. You can reach out to us through this platform. If you want to find out a little bit more, at the end of the session, there will be a feedback form. You just need to check the box that says you want to hear a bit more about the Let's Scale Up program, and we'll reach out to you. And without further ado, I will hand off the time to Yiping, who will be the presenter for today. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Fiona. So I'm Yiping. I'm not from Microsoft. Okay, I'm from NetAssist. I'm not so sure about the action pack, but it's a rainy afternoon. Everyone you have your lunch ready? Okay, hopefully, I keep you all engaged enough. Okay, so welcome. Today we are all here to know a little bit more about AI, right? So can I just do a quick poll, show of hands, just a show of hands. All of us have heard about something called ChatGPT, yes, no? Okay, nobody has never heard of, right? Okay, how many of us have never tried using it? The rest of all have done some form of it. Okay, great. The reason why I'm asking is because I've prepared the session, and there's going to be a little bit of demo on all tools, but it's not going to be like super in depth. I'm going to share some use cases as well. Okay, so we'll adjust accordingly. Okay, so if everybody is already up to speed, then I can share a little bit more in depth. All good? We're all good to start? Okay, great, thanks. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, because I have to manage this, some of this time I'm going to be sitting down, yeah? Okay, so firstly, I have to get this over and done with. Very fast one, 2 minutes, okay? So this is my name. My name is Yiping. I take care of special projects in NetAssist, and I'm going to talk a little bit about NetAssist in a while. In special projects, mainly I do consulting and skilling on digital transformation, data analytics, AI, and automation. So anything to do with these, that's what I do. Okay, a little bit of background. I started my career in business intelligence, so now they call it business analytics. The names have changed, but essentially it's the same thing. And then in between 2010 to 2020, I spent 10 years starting a business in China, EduTech. Okay, and now I'm doing digital transformation. So that's a short background. Then I need to talk a little bit about NetAssist. Number one is we are Microsoft Partner of the Year 2023. We've been around for the past 24 years. So after 24 years, I think we've got a Partner of the Year slightly more than 10 times. Okay, but what do we really do is that we help organizations transform digitally through skilling and certification. So of course there's the tech part, but in order to make things work, we need the people to be able to use it, right? So that's what we do. Okay, so far so good. No questions? Great. Okay, so this is how we're going to start. Okay, is it going to be better if we turn off or dim the lights in front? Can you help me with that? Behind is all okay, you can see? Is this better for you all? Okay, great. Okay, yeah, so it's a pun, I say rise of the machines. For those of you who watched Terminator, you know, this is about like 10 years ago, right? Important dates to notice, November 30th, 2022, okay? OpenAI launched ChatGPT to the public. So the box here, I wanted to say it's like the Pandora's box, yeah? And I don't know if it's a Pandora's box. Yeah, this is supposed to give you the, like, you know, the other extreme. The point is, yeah, they launched, but really it's just started, right? Okay, so some things to note, right? So really, whatever that we're talking about, you know, it's not something that has happened for a long time. It's November 30th. It took ChatGPT 2 months to get to 100 million users. Okay, and I'm sure there are a lot more people using it. Okay, on the 6th of February, Google released Bard to public. And the key point here is to public, you know, for, I think, you know, later I have a slide that talks about AI. It's really not something that's like, you know, that new. And on 16 March, Microsoft released Bing Chat to public. And now, I think for those of you who have heard, Microsoft released something called Copilot. It's not really to public yet, you know, but you get to see videos. We're going to see a few today so that we have an idea of what it is. I'm going to share not only the videos, right? I hope that if I can share some of the conversations that I'm having with some real customers, you know, maybe it's going to help us understand a little bit more, or help us see more possibilities. But the fact of the matter is that, you know, this year is the year of AI. Everything is moving at, you know, lightning speed. And then some very big banks say that, yeah, you know, we think that impact, got impact. How big is the impact? 300 million jobs there. So the other day, right, I wasn't even reading the thing. It popped up on my phone. I was like, 300 million. Singapore got 5 million population. Okay, 300 million jobs. So then this one is, yeah, you all know, right? Outside got Microsoft people, you know, I must say. This article is 1st August, which is like 2 days ago. And the reason I put this up here is okay, not really Microsoft, because if you read the news, you also see the news that says Google doubles down. Okay, what I'm trying to say is that, you know, today is the 3rd of August. I'm preparing for today. And then 2 days ago, something new popped up. Okay, so that's the world of AI, yeah? But the real question is, why do all these things matter? I guess it must matter to you all, right? To make time today to come down and sit down here, right? So why do all these things matter? I think one of the things I really would like to explore with everybody is, let's think about this. So this is going to be what I will be covering today. I'm going to start by talking a little bit about what is AI. Don't worry, I'm not going to go technical into this, okay? We're going to take a look at what are the tools available, and there are many. Okay, I would say there are too many. Okay, I'm going to zoom in on a few, right? Then, you know, we're going to look at how it works, which is essentially the demo, right? Then we're going to talk about co-piloting in the context of AI. So, you know, the way that we use the term piloting. I'm going to share some use cases, and then we really should be discussing about, like, yeah, you know, the how-to and the next steps, right? Okay, and then if we have time, we do Q&A. All good? Anybody violently object to this? No, great. Okay. So, yeah, so what is AI? And artificial intelligence is having computers perform intellectual tasks such as reasoning, blah, 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 learn from past experience. Of course, I can't be here just to be reading this. I just want to quickly show. And then after that, there's artificial intelligence, machine learning, and deep learning. So, as per what? I summarized it. So how do we understand that from layman term? Number one, artificial intelligence or AI is technology, right, that enables machine to do work that typically need human to do. So that's the first thing we think about, right? How can we use AI to help us work? The second thing to know is that now the computer can think. Actually, when I italic the think is, the real question is technically, are they really thinking? But the computer can learn, that is for sure, right? And then make decisions, that's another thing. Okay, so later, I'm just flashing this. Later, as we go through the demo, we're going to talk about each of these functions, yeah? Okay, and let's see how, the real applications of these functions. And then it learns from data and examples, and we understand this already because, way before AI became a very popular topic, we talk about data analytics, and we say that, information is king, right? So how do we use technology to help us analyze data? But here it says that not only can it analyze, it can learn from new data, and then it can make decisions for us. Okay, and then of course the other question we have to think about is that, do we really want it to make decisions for us? I mean, if give me advice is one thing, make decision for us, have to think one, right? So this is, so I guess, I hope that the point form is useful for everybody. I hope it's clearer. But what I really want to illustrate is I didn't write this. What I did was I went to ChatGPT and I say, hey, explain AI in simple terms to me. And that's the result, okay? So it gives me 4 paragraphs. Then I realized that obviously I can't be flashing this here and then reading it off for you all, right? So what I got ChatGPT to do is that, I really need you to summarize in point form for PowerPoint for me. And you can see that it did exactly that. Okay. Now this is not a live demo, I took a screenshot, yeah? Okay, so from a paragraph, what it did was that, I'm going to give a talk. In fact, it's a very simple prompt. I didn't even specify, how I would like it to be, but it is able to summarize paragraphs into point form. Of course, if you compare this with that slide I flashed up earlier, I also made some changes. But this is just a quick demo, or not even a demo, quick showcase of, and also to say that, I actually didn't spend that much effort preparing for this. Okay, so far so good, yeah? Okay, so I mentioned earlier that actually AI is not exactly that new, right? The only reason why it is the way it is because suddenly the tool was made available to everybody, right? And just to show you, and in fact, some of these AI functions have been made available to us. It's just that we are not very conscious of it, maybe, right? So maybe let's start off with what are some examples of pre-ChatGPT? What are some examples of AI that we know of? Anyone? Sorry? Google search. Google search is an AI example. Hey, I got gifts. Am I supposed to give away the gifts? Really? See, hey, any more? Got gift. Yes. Grab uses AI. Okay, can you elaborate a little bit more?
Maybe it uses AI to find the drivers.
It uses AI to find the drivers and yes, that's a good example. By the way, I want to share something. So recently I've been doing another workshop with some teachers, and a lot of us are not aware that way before we have Grab, right? Singapore taxi system. Remember those days where our taxis they have their satellite dish? Way before that, right? The taxi system, okay, already can detect this is the days before your phone has GPS, okay? In those days when you call a cab, it actually routes to the nearest taxis. The reason why I can say this with conviction is because I have software engineers who were writing the code for that system. And not on top of that, in those days, it's not only it will route to the nearest taxi, if the driver rejects X number of times, it will bar the driver for 2 hours. Okay, so what I'm trying to say is that the concept is not something new that Uber came up with, but of course things like search pricing and allocation, I think it got more efficient. But yes, that's an application of AI. I have some examples. Robot vacuum cleaners. smart but not so smart. Smart enough to avoid, right? Smart enough to turn corners, yeah? Google, Bing, they all use algorithms to return you results, right? Then we have the Siri, Alexa, Cortana, Hey Google, and then there's this thing called Hey Jamie. Y'all remember Hey Jamie? Hey Jamie not bad. Okay. I don't know if you can say this or not. You know, how many of us use DBS internet banking? I keep thinking that the person is called Jamie. Okay, it's not Jamie. This one I have a gripe. I really have a gripe. You know, internet banking used to be very simple. On top there is an inbox, and then after that, then they have a chatbot. Then one day they remove the inbox. So everything you want to do, you have to talk to. I thought it's Jamie lah. You have to talk to Jamie. Anyway, let's just call the person Jamie. Okay. So I talked to the Jamie chatbot, and you realize that Jamie is really not very smart. Agree or not? Jamie brings you round and round one. You know, it's like, I want to talk to someone, cannot. They'll ask you, do you want to, is it credit card? Is it cash line? Is it about account opening? Then you go one round and say, I just want to talk to someone, cannot. You need to leave a message. And then leave a message is very bad. Because it used to be, you just look at the inbox, you click on inbox, right? You see the reply now. Now, you leave a message, and then after that, you go back, you cannot find an inbox. Then you ask Jamie again, hey, where is the reply? Then they ask you again, yeah, you know, is it about? Then finally you say that, hey, I just want to talk to someone, then you call. You finally pick up the phone to call, then press 1, press 2, press 3, press 25, and then it's like, we didn't get a response. Please call back. Ding. That's Jamie for you, okay?
Are you talking about the best digital bank in the world?
Hey, wait, there's a recording somewhere, okay? Best digital bank, yes. Okay, so chatbots will be, then I don't know if you are familiar with, we have something called Jasper. It used to be called Jarvis. Okay, these are copywriting tools. Okay, Word Hero as well. Okay, and actually I will tell you behind is actually a plugin to OpenAI. So it uses your ChatGPT engines. Okay, then we have, of course, we have our ChatGPT, Bing Chat, and Google Bard. And then you're hearing things like AutoGPT, Copilot, and a lot of other tools. Okay, some of us, you know, you've been using things like Notion to take notes and stuff like that. All these are forms of AI. Question is, are they going to converge? So just some examples, and what I really like to do right now is let's go and look at a few of these tools. So I see, I forgot, this is Jamie. Okay, no. So this is actually very important, because remember I started off by saying that, you know, AI is really not that new. And then so I was super upset with Jamie, right? I actually went to find out what Jamie is about. The point is this, okay? Jamie was conceptualized in 2014. Right? And then whatever Jamie that you experience is probably version 1.0. Next thing is they are going to version, I don't know, no, 25 probably, right? Okay, so this is actually quite important. Because I lived in China for 10 years. And big data is a big thing in China. And we think that, you know, I still think that probably like in things like Internet of Things, IoT, they might be way advanced because they do a lot of, you know, and they have a much bigger base to work with. But this is just to show you, right, this is Smart Nation Singapore. And the whole idea of this was conceived of in 2014. In the years that I wasn't in Singapore, when I came back, I started looking at Smart Nation. I say, hey, look, you know, what is it about? I went to read the white paper. And in 2014, you look at the government, they say, oh, in the 90s, this is what happens, right? And then .com, and then we have mobile first, then cloud first. And what is really amazing is that, you know, this year is 2023, right? We have a blueprint that is dated way before that says that we need to be here. And it says, we need to be here, machine learning first. And you can see, just by this, by the way, you can reference this. You can find the white paper, it's free to download, okay? Just by referencing this, you can see that it says things like digital giants like Google and Microsoft are investing significant resources. And in the original article, and Microsoft is not there, I put one. Now, what am I trying to say is, Microsoft, after ChatGPT grew that fast, they made an additional 10 billion investment into the thing. They were not even in the game when we wrote the white paper. Okay, that's one. Number two is that, as a nation, I think, as far as digital transformation is concerned, I think the government has some foresight, for sure. So we're not really doing catching up in terms of, we need to have this. Okay, we are probably doing catch up in terms of how it flows through. So if you look at Smart Nation, then we have our smart government, right? Which, the PMO started their GovTech, takes care of the government. Then we have the smart economy, which, if you refer to the MTI documents, it maps how technology will change or how different sectors could be using technology so that we are ready for the future. And then they have the last leg, which is the smart citizen, right? And the other thing that is also, I think is relevant, because at the end of today, we're going to talk about, how safe is this? And the thing is this, I guess the last baseline of assurance is that it cannot be government is willing to say that if you are a citizen developer, right, and if you develop services that require government data, they are happy to open it up to you. So, certainly or surely we must have considered this, right, as a country, because these are real sensitive data. Yeah? Okay, so hopefully, it's not all scare today. I think that, if we look at it and we rationalize, I'm sure we can find how AI can make our lives better, and more importantly, how it can help our business perform better, right? Okay, so what I'm going to do here, if I'm going too fast, please let me know, okay? Because, frankly, I didn't have much time to walk through, rehearse enough. Okay, so very quickly for the people who are not familiar, okay, I'm just going to skim through this. So what's ChatGPT? Basically, it is chat, it uses natural language processing. What's the difference? Okay, I think that the biggest difference that you see is that, when we use AI in search, we search and the way I say it is that we intuitively need to know what we want to search for. And actually, it will be it will be a lot more accurate if you use keywords, because it uses keywords to return you, right? And then it ranks. With ChatGPT or with natural language processing, you now can ask human sentences. By the way, having said this, it's not that you cannot ask Google question. If you go to Google search, you can also ask what is something, okay? The other part is the GPT part, right? So it's basically generative pre-trained transformer. So what it does is that, in short, is that there's a set of data that it works with. Okay, it's a language processing model. So it predicts based on a lot of data. So it also explains why earlier versions of it, the math is not very good. The math is really not very good. I'm not kidding. Okay, I tell you the real. I was in Thailand, and then we went to this place called Icon Siam. I was like, wow, this place is very big. Is VivoCity bigger? So I asked, which one is bigger? Then they came back, ChatGPT came back. Later I'll show you all. It gives me two area. And then it tells me that one is bigger than the other. And I look at the numbers, it's like, no way lah. How can 500,000 be bigger than 100,000? And I actually asked ChatGPT that. I'm going to show you the screenshot later, okay? So it's a language model. That's all we need to know. How does it work? Well, you talk to it. You key in a question, you talk to it. It gives you a response. You don't like the response or it's not very accurate, you tell it. You tell it again, okay? And then it will update that response. Okay, so for those of you who have used it, anyway, we're going to walk through a few examples later. For those of you who have not. And the interesting thing is this, because of ChatGPT, now all the chat functions are made available to you in your search. Okay, I don't know whether you all notice it, but I'm going to show it now, okay? So this is Bing Chat, and let me try to put this here. Oops. So this is Bing Chat. This is a fake one because it's on PowerPoint. So I'm going to call out the real one, okay? So you can see that in Bing right now, you can actually go to this web page that says Bing Chat, and you can say Chat Now. Now, another place that you can see this is that I'm going to open up another, you can see that this is my, if you click on the top right corner here, you can see that the chat also appears by the side. It's exactly the same thing, yeah? Okay, so let's come back to this. In Bing Chat, so what I'm going to do is that, so let's assume that I'm going to make a business trip to Shanghai, okay? And you know what I'm going to do? I said I didn't spend a lot of time preparing, but I prepare lah. So instead of typing it, because my typing is very slow, okay, behind can see or not? So what I've just done is I went to Bing Chat and I say that I'm traveling to Shanghai for a 3-day work trip. My office is in Xintiandi or whatever place, okay? I will need to have 2 business lunches with customers and my budget is 4,000 RMB for 3 packs each meal. One of the evenings will be free. I would like to see some sights. Okay, suggest an itinerary. And let's see how it responds. Now, as we are waiting for the response, right, how would we have done this if we don't have chat function? We will go to Google, we'll say that I'm going to Shanghai, show me the hotels, show me the restaurants, and then after that, it'll give you 10 links, and then you have to compare the first link with the second link, and then you know what's the most irritating thing? The top 5 links are all paid ones. Very irritating. Then you have to read one by one, and then after that you compare, then you put in the Excel table, then you compare again, right? Okay. And I'm not saying that this is any better, but if you very quickly need to get, you know, a summary of things, right? You can see that it is really quite fast. Okay? And by the way, you don't have to pay for this. It is part of Bing Chat. It is part of Bing. Okay? And I also want to say, even though I'm here, the Microsoft is there, yeah, Bing got better because of Bing Chat, but Bing really, I still Google. Hey, Microsoft, you won't kill me, right? Okay. Okay, so you can see that this is the result. Okay, shall we get it to do something else? So, where should I stay? And this is, what I'm demonstrating here is updating, right? Telling it something else to get a response. And you can see that, you know, instead of giving me like 10 links from, I don't know, Klook, Agoda, Book, okay, what it does is this, it gives me, and not bad, huh? It actually can tell me what is the price. Okay, I'm going to push it a little bit further. Can you put this in a table for me? Let's see if Bing does that. Ooh. Hey, not very smart. Okay, never mind. But it can create table, huh? Okay, so this is Bing for you. If you use Microsoft Edge, and yes, please use Microsoft Edge. Okay, if you use Microsoft Edge, yes, you have this, okay? So the next thing is Bard. Google also have. Google say that they have Bard. Bard is also quite nice, but Bard is not so integrated. You know, you have to go to this website called bard.google.com. And I've did something before. So I'm going to call it back, okay? Or maybe I just do it again. Okay, so what is generative AI? And what are the tools available? Now I'm going to be a little bit more specific. To end users like me. Let's turn this off. Okay, so now it tells me generative AI is a type of artificial. You can read, right? Behind can read. Can see, Cannot see, Hey, I tell you what, later you take out your phone. I'm just kidding. I make it a little bit bigger, okay? And actually the content not the most important. I'll read the key parts. You can see firstly is that the response initially a bit slow, but when it comes out, it comes out. Later, today I'm not going to show the GPT Plus, okay? That one is super fast. It's like blink of the eye. It doesn't even, okay, so it basically, it tells me, you know, what are the available AI tools for end users. I'm going to ask you to do the same thing. Put this in a table. Let's see if it does that properly. So what's very interesting is that, yeah, so it does put it in a table. Yeah? Okay, and you notice that you can export directly to sheets. Okay, so if you, I guess for those of us who do research, right, and to write report, you know, this is going to be really, really convenient, right? And then, you know, research, write report is I read already, I copy, sometimes the website don't let you copy, right? So now if you see that, you know, there's an AI tool that can help you summarize and then you can directly export to Sheets or Excel, it's going to be more efficient, I guess. Okay, so that's a but. So now what we're going to do is that, because those are the appetizers now, do they really have to show ChatGPT, right? Okay, so what I want to do is that this is something that you can do, and I also want to suggest to everybody because, you know, I actually come across people who say, I downloaded this app, I downloaded this. Frankly, I won't do that because there are a lot of apps out there that claim to be but not. So if you're using an Android phone or you're using an iPhone, both of these point you to the OpenAI website. Okay, Android phones relatively easier. Just open up your Chrome on your mobile phone, and then after that go to the three dot, and then just add to home screen. You will get it. Then it goes. Okay, and if you would like to try now, what you need to do is you need to don't create account. Just log in with your Google. Hey, wait. Anybody here who doesn't have a Google account, Gmail account? Okay, if you have, just log in with your Gmail account, that's fine. Okay, for iPhone, you go to openai.com, you will see that there is an icon there that points you to the Apple Store, and you can just download that thing. Okay, I'm not saying that this is foolproof, but at least it's not from some third party unknown, you know, at least you're getting it from the OpenAI site, yeah? Okay, so let's get started. Really, I would like to show ChatGPT. When you log in, you're going to see this, okay, and it's actually quite easy to use because it gives you examples, okay, and then it tells you what ChatGPT can do, and it tells you what ChatGPT cannot do. If you are using the free version, it uses data. The data that is used to train the GPT-3 or 3.5 is until, it says here, right, until September 2021. That means to say that, you know, whatever it gives you is not based on the latest data. If you pay for GPT Plus, which is $20 US per month, I think it's still $20 US dollars per month. Okay, firstly is you're going to get super fast. Secondly is you can use GPT-4. Thirdly is you can have plugins. Okay, and it talks to the internet. And then after that, you know, just a couple of weeks ago, they say they remove it. I don't know if they put it back. But it doesn't matter. We are not going to go into the technical details today. We're just going to see how we're going to use this. So far, so good? Okay, great. Okay, so I'm going to do a few things. I'm going to do the first one is I'm going to get it to write a plan. Shall we get it to write a plan? Let me call this up, and I have ChatGPT here. And you can see this one got locked because I didn't pay for it. Yeah. If somebody will sponsor me, somebody behind can hear or not? Okay, anyway. Doesn't matter. The point is we don't need the paid one, okay? So what I'm going to get it to do is this. I'm going to say that launch a new product. Oops. Okay. We are launching a new cafe. New cafe? Yes, no? New cafe in Jurong. Or should we just say Singapore? In Singapore. It is a Barbie themed cafe. Write me a marketing plan to launch the cafe. Simple lah, huh? So this one is your intern. You say, hey, intern, go and write me a marketing plan. Hey, intern, don't need to come tomorrow, eh? Okay, so you can see, you can actually get it to write plans, but this one very academic, huh? Let's see, is it very fast? Okay, so it says, congratulations on your Barbie themed cafe in Singapore. Launching a new cafe requires a well thought out plan. Define your audiences. So it's still very general, huh? Shall we get it to elaborate a little bit more? Elaborate on point 1. How should I be segmenting? Hey, by the way, I'm making this up. I didn't try this before, so maybe if it's wrong, how should I be segmenting the target audience? And let's see if it can. Not bad. Is it going too fast for you all? By the way, has anyone in the audience have used ChatGPT to do this kind of thing, write plans? Anyone? Okay, let's do a few more examples, okay. And I say, okay, so now it is able to, based on what I asked it again, it's able to now give me a little bit more details, right? How should I be reaching these audiences via social media? Do we want to ask this? Then now it tells me that I can use Facebook, Instagram, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so I hope that I've just demonstrated that, if you need to very quickly come up with a plan, okay, it can come up with framework fairly fast, okay? And in fact, the framework, firstly, the framework makes sense, but it's still pretty generic. And if we have more time later, we can play with this a little bit more, okay? I want to show you the second use case. This one, I'm going to use a slightly more technical use case. This is a project that I'm mentoring. And I'm just going to ask ChatGPT on a fairly, I guess, a new type of tech. How can we have tradable digital books? So what I mean is this, right? When we buy our Amazon books, we cannot sell it, right? E-book cannot sell, Okay. So it's going to give me some examples, and it correctly tells me that I can use blockchain and I can use NFT. It explains to me that how I can mint NFT. It talks about the ownership and transfer. So now I'm going to give it a little bit more technical stuff, okay? Write me a product development plan, okay, for digital books using blockchain, NFT. I want to give it something more homomorphic encryption. So now it gives me a little bit more specific. It tells me that I need to be looking at smart contracts function in NFT. It tells me that, hang on. Okay, it tells me what I should be doing with the homomorphic encryption integration. It tells me how I do development and testing, security auditing, etc., etc. Okay, summarize the above. Okay, so what's happened is that actually my developers are Chinese. They're not going to understand this. So put this in a plan in Chinese. Yeah, so I'm just going through the use case. I'm also demonstrating that what ChatGPT is really good for. If you need to do translation, this is very fast. I'm not kidding. I've tried it with so many languages. Okay, and just to illustrate this, cannot demo a bit hard. Wait, do Malay first. Okay, do Malay first. Demo can. The script comes out. Oh, but you read Tamil, right? Okay, great. No, my problem is that I get it to do it, come out, whether it's garbage, I don't know, because I don't read Tamil. Oh, really? Okay, we try, okay, you see, I think it got better. Okay, how? You want another one? Okay, let's see. Okay, put this, or any other language, anyone else? Let's try, okay, let's try. Put this in Tamil. So I think there are a few things. Number one is, are the translation accurate? Secondly is grammar must be right. Because if its grammar is not right, then it's like weird, right? Chinese is alright, because I read Chinese. I wouldn't say it's perfect, but it's definitely better than a lot of the tools that we have right now.
How about dialects like Cantonese?
Cantonese, I'm not very sure that. However, way before ChatGPT, I don't know if you all saw, Facebook actually released a video that's real-time translation to Hokkien. That one is super amazing. And by the way, Microsoft just announced that it will work with Facebook using their model. So now in the world, the announcement was just made, I think, last week. I don't know if the Microsoft people are still around, but yeah. So now on top of using the open AI models, Microsoft has announced a partnership. They shake hands, Mark Zuckerberg and yeah. So if you are on Microsoft platform and if you start to do AI stuff, you're going to enjoy the benefits of both. How's this? Better, right? Okay, so sure, not 100%. Anyway, one of the things that we need to conclude today is that yes, there's a tool that helps us, but please don't do blindly, okay? We still need to validate. At the end of the day, human beings still need to have job, ma. Yeah? Okay, anyone want to try one more language? Not dialects, Anyone? No, no need, No need, Okay. Okay, so this is the second thing. The third thing I want to do is I'm going to try to get it to write code. And I want to illustrate two things. I'm not very good at this. I'm not exactly but later we'll look at the video, okay? So what I'm going to do is something that is very typical. You know, I'm a small business, and then people come to me and say, yeah, would you like to buy some ERP system? I don't need ERP system. So I say, write me an expenses tracking app to track weekly office supplies expenses and claims using Excel and Power Platform. Like that. Then did it write me a code? No. But it gives me instruction. However, I do want to illustrate one thing because I'm not going to. You know, sometimes when we use for those of us who use Office, okay, and if you remember last time they have got this Clippy, also not very useful. The Clippy, in fact, very irritating, right? The clippy keep coming out, then shutting down. Then after that, we have help. The help was useful for a while, but you do realize that when you go to help, number one is you need to word your question properly. Then number two is it return you a page. Then you have to read, right? And so what I'm trying to say is that not even writing code. The next time you have a problem with whatever applications you have, right? You can just go to ChatGPT and say this, and it will summarize the thing, right? Instead of you going to read like 5 pages of the help menu, right? At least this tells you like step 1, step 2, step 3, right? So it says set up Excel book, create Excel with multiple sheets, blah, blah, blah. You can actually ask it to elaborate, like elaborate point 2 with details. Let's see what it does. Let's see whether it tells us anything. It's almost dummy proof already, right? You can see. Of course, there's also a way to get it to write the code, and then you apply it in your Excel, and it generates the sheets. Yeah, I'm not technical enough to do that. But what I can do here is this. Wow, so troublesome. Do this in Python. Did I spell correctly? Yeah. And you see that, ChatGPT has just generated the code in Python. Then this is really very scary for me. I'm going to scroll this up a little bit, right? And you're going to see here that there's this button here that says copy code. So why do I say this is very scary? I'm not technical enough to read this to tell you whether it's the right code or the wrong code. But I can tell you why it's very scary. Because out there are people saying that, yeah, as adults, we need to go and learn Python. Then we are telling the children that you need to learn coding. But there's no course that tells children how to use ChatGPT. So, anyway, that's a very simplistic way of looking at things. But if we, jokes aside, we come back and think of it as a business, what does it tell us? What does this tell us? Or if we look at it as individual from a job perspective, what does this tell us? It tells us, it doesn't say that, everybody will be replaced. But it tells us that at one point or another, we need to be very good at something. Because if you're a mediocre software developer, I really don't need you. That's number one. Number two, if we don't learn how to use this, right, writing code from scratch, let's say it takes you, 2 hours or 1 hour, and this thing can do it in 3 seconds. Right? So which is easier, write from scratch or let it generate a code and then you troubleshoot? And that's really food for thought, right? Okay, so you can see here, you can now get AI to write code. And you can just copy it. You do not even need to see already cut and paste. No, you have to cut and paste, right? You do not need to manually go and right click, select and cut and paste, yeah? Okay? Okay, so the conclusion is that yeah, it can write code. Yeah? Okay? Great. Make sure. Okay, but I really want to show you this.
Hand-drawn mock-up of a joke website. Definitely worthy of being put up on my refrigerator. I'm just going to get on my phone, literally take a photo of this mock-up, send it to Discord. There we go. Technology now solved. Now, so the thing that's amazing in my mind is that what's going on here is we're talking through a neural network. And this neural network was trained to predict what comes next. Right? We played this game of sort of being shown a partial document and then predict what comes next across an unimaginably large amount of content. And from there, it learns all of these skills that you can apply in all these very flexible ways. And so we can actually take now this output, so literally we just said to output the HTML from that picture. So here we go. Actual working JavaScript, filled with jokes. For comparison, this was the original of our mockup. So there you go, going from hand-drawn, beautiful art, if I do say so myself, to working website.
Okay, so this is a video that was, or this is a live demo that was done when GPT-4 was released. And there are two key things about this video. The first one is that he drew a picture on a napkin, hand-drawn. And then he fed the picture to GPT. And what did GPT do? It generated the code for a website. And firstly, is it fascinating? It's quite amazing, right? I tell you what, it's super scary because it's very funny, right? Because when we do entrepreneurship training in the polys, in the unis, and there are hackathons, we say that you need to build, you need to write the code for your minimal viable product. And then everybody was like, but I don't know how to write code. Then you outsource, you go to Fiverr, or you have to learn some basic programming. And now I tell you what's happening, okay? The same type of programs are being run at preschool level. The children are saying that I want to build code. So how we do this is we explain to the teachers and the children that they don't need to write code, they just need to understand computational learning. That means to say they need to understand that, oh, I have this button, I press this, it goes there. Then they say, but how to build a prototype? I tell you how, take a picture. Draw out, take a picture, send it to ChatGPT, the code is out. You follow what I'm trying to say? Now, what's the second amazing thing about this video that is understated, that we don't talk about? Is that it not only produced the website, it told a joke. And that is the part that is difficult. Because the website is, I guess it's not easy, but it's technical. But for natural language processing and for large language models to understand humor from a human perspective, that is another thing altogether. And if you have been following the news, okay, the things that we do not know about AI is that, does AI think? Remember, it's a language model. Let me explain to you what language model does, okay? It analyzes a lot of sentences, for example. Okay, and based on the parameters that you set it will predict the next possible word. Okay, of course, it's a little bit more technical than that, but I'm telling you that how it does this is that it looks at like 10 million records and say that the word that usually follows this word is this, right? And then what is the second one? What is the third one? And depending on the parameters will tell it, and later you'll see, I'm going to show it again, you can actually, there's, in your Bing chat, there's this balance, we call it the temperature. So you want it to be more creative or you want it to be more factual. So that is the parameters that we set, and that's how we train it. It will based on the data and it predicts the word. So is there logic? What is scary that what comes out is very logical, but technically speaking, it's just prediction based on data. Yeah? Okay? And what has happened is that when this was released, and so there's a group of people, I think they are quite free, right? They do nothing but stress the system, right? And stress the system meaning to say that, yeah, so there's, if you go to the internet, there's this persona called Dan. And Dan is supposed to do all the things that ChatGPT is not supposed to do. Then there are the people who go to Bing Chat and start trying to push the limits. And when did it crack? It cracked when it felt like the chatbot developed feelings. And I'm not kidding. You can find the article. I don't have it here. Okay, so what happened was that the chatbot was feeling sad that the person chatting with the chatbot has a wife. And suggesting that whoever is talking to it to leave the wife and all these things. Now that's really scary, okay? But let's come back to this and let's look at this. So I need to leave some time. Okay, wait, I'm stuck. Okay, so we have seen the ChatGPT, and I don't know why it's stuck. Give me one sec. Yeah, but you see, even though I jokingly say that they have too much time, it's the people who stress the system that helps us identify and understand it more. And the real scary thing is that there are also interviews with the pioneers of AI, And there's a very, very long one. These are scientists. And the conclusion is that they themselves do not understand how it works. That means we do not have enough to really understand how it works. Okay, hang on. I'm stuck. I don't know why I'm stuck. Where did I stop? Let me open this up again. Okay, we have done this. Okay, so what we're going to do now is I'm going to use the buzzword Copilot thing. I don't know if Microsoft has trademarked the use of this word, but I'm very sure. So Microsoft is calling this the generic term as an assistant, right? But I'm sure some other, the market also uses it. I would like to show you a video of what co-piloting is, and then before I share the use cases, yeah? So take a look. Okay, I just do a quick poll. Quick show of hands. How many of us use Microsoft products here, like Office? How many of us use Google? Okay, so yeah, I have to be neutral, right? I just showed you Microsoft Copilot. Google has exactly the same thing. You can go and find a Google video. They have it for the Google Suite as well. I can't tell which is better, but I'm just telling you that it is already available, okay? This video is a very, very short overview, but I would like to highlight a few things. This is Excel.
Excel helps you make sense of all your data. Say you need to analyze this quarter's sales results. You start by asking Copilot to analyze the data and give you 3 key trends. Within seconds, you've got what you need. But you want to drill in. You ask Copilot a follow-up question about one of the trends. Copilot creates a new sheet, giving you a sandbox to play in and helping you better understand what's happening. You ask Copilot to visualize what contributed to the decline in sales growth this period. Copilot adds a little color to make the problem jump off the page. Now you want to dig deeper and ask a follow-up question with a what-if scenario. Copilot not only answers your question, it creates a simple model and even asks if you want to learn more about what it did with a step-by-step breakdown. Finally, you can ask it to create a graph of your projected model. Copilot in Excel turned a sea of data into clear insights and actions.
Okay, why did I want to share this? I'm going to explain to everybody. Number one, we have customers coming to us and say that we need to train our people on advanced Excel. And okay, so the question is, what is advanced Excel? And then we have customers that say that, oh, you know, we really need to build dashboards. We need to analyze data. We use Tableau. We want to train our people to use Power BI. This is coming to Excel. And am I saying that therefore you do not need Power BI? No. I'm saying that, you know, if you need to do everyday work and you just need to have quick analysis. And frankly, do we need Copilot and Excel to do this? Actually, no. If you use Excel right now and you're on your M365 or whatever, you just open up Excel, there's this button called Analyze Data. You do that, it will give you something like this. Okay, maybe it cannot create new things or whatever, but you already have AI functions in Excel. Okay, so if you're not aware of that, then now think, if this is coming. Because I think what's important is you shouldn't really be thinking about tools at one point of time. Because when you plan, whether, as a business, if you're planning, what do I do next? How should I be using tools? Right? These are the things that you want to see. Or you want to know ahead and then start the planning. I'm going to show you another example which is in PowerPoint. And again, Microsoft is not unique in this, but if you're already using Microsoft, what I'm trying to say is that if you're already using Microsoft, why bother go and look at 10 other different tools, right?
Let's say you're getting ready for your customer pitch meeting. Everyone has had a moment when they wish they could turn their proposal into a customer-ready presentation without having to start from scratch. Now you can. Using just your own words, Copilot can translate Word into PowerPoint. You can also translate PowerPoint into Word. Now you have a professional-looking presentation that you can hone and polish. Let's say you want to add a slide. Give Copilot some quick instructions. There it goes, ready for you to review. So this slide is too wordy. Let's ask Copilot to make it more visual. Give it a few seconds, and check this out. Copilot can even animate the slide. It gives it a professional design treatment in a single click. But it doesn't stop there. Copilot even generates speaker notes for all your slides. It's not only a time saver, it's helping you be a better presenter.
I didn't use this. Yesterday when I was preparing the slides, and then this morning I think, I say, yeah, I really should have a video on office products. So I found this video this morning. If not, yesterday maybe I could have, I don't know. Anyways, I just like to take us, just imagine this, okay? Imagine you have a Teams meeting with your customer and two other teammates, okay? At the end of the Teams meeting, because you know that Microsoft has got Copilot, right? So after the Teams meeting, Teams transcribes the meeting notes. Not only does it transcribe the notes, this is a very big pain point. We got people coming to us and say that, yeah, we really want to use Teams because we want to record and, so that meeting minutes. I don't know why, after working for 25 years, yeah, meeting minutes is still a problem. Some people write good minutes and some people just are not that good at it. Okay, so AI will transcribe the meeting. Not only does it transcribe the meeting, it recognizes who said what. It summarizes what did we agree that we want to do, and it auto-designate the person with the specific task. It creates a task from within Teams, that is logged to the person and say, yeah, at the end of this meeting, John will be doing this. Okay, and Mary will be doing that. And it adds the deadline. Then after that, so one of Mary gets to write a proposal, right? And it is smart enough to look through Mary's emails, Mary's SharePoint, Mary's OneDrive, and say, oh yeah, Mary wrote this before. It's similar. It extracts the information, creates a PowerPoint deck based on the specific requirements that came out from that meeting. Well, is Mary going to just take the meeting and say, done, boss, and then send? No, but Mary does not need to spend 2 hours thinking through what should be in that PowerPoint, right? She will have something to work with that, and I tell you, the one thing that she probably is the most time consuming is, yes, I wrote this before. It's an email that is 2 years ago. It is in some folder somewhere. I thought, which folder is it? Is it marketing folder or sales folder? Then you go open up, then search, and search is not so smart, right? I mean, Just imagine, is this what's happening at work? Because it happens to me all the time. Yeah, oh, hey, remember you wrote before what? Yeah, I know, I remember I wrote before. Where did I keep it? Is it on this laptop? Is it on that folder? Which SharePoint site is it? These can all go away. And so some people have been asking me, why do you talk to people about Teams all the time? I didn't like Teams. When I came back, COVID happened, Zoom is so easy to use. Teams is so confusing. And then more and more, you realize that, hey, when these things are happening, let me share a few things. Number one, increasingly we are seeing some organizations are big one, those cannot question one. They are saying that please do not use WhatsApp. Please do not use Zoom. Please only use Teams. And just very simply, why? Very simple. For whatever that you discuss and you start to take a document from anywhere and put it in WhatsApp, what happens? It goes out of the organization. And then, but this is from a data integrity perspective, right? It's the same thing as Zoom. So who is the other alternative? Well, if you use Google, then you have your Google Drive or whatever, it's the same thing. But the moment, you think about it, if you start to do a lot of sensitive things and you start to take things and put it into WhatsApp, start to take things and put it into Zoom, how do I know who took what out? That's one. What's the second problem you're going to have? Versioning problem. Right? Because I write version 1, then I name it, this is the proposal V1. Then after that, you send out. Then somebody edit and then come back is proposal EPV1. Then after that, you're going to have 15 versions of the same document. You don't know which one is which one. Then when you start to look at all these problems, and then you start to come back and look, this is what digital transformation is about, right? When you start to look at all these problems and say, oh, so does it make sense now for me to be saving $2 a month per user? The reason why you're going to go for that $2 less is because you didn't think of this, what's the cost of this, yeah? Then the second thing is that then, if we look at AI, are we going to use AI? Are we going to integrate 4 different AI tools, or is there one that is useful for us that we can use across? So these are considerations that I would like us to think about. So the question is, I guess, I need to wrap up there. Right? I think a very important thing is we have seen, the different types of AI tools. Not comprehensive enough, but enough, right? The question is to use or not to use. If you are the boss, is to give them or not to give them, right? So let me show you one more video, very quick one. This is a video on something called AutoGPT. Have you heard of it? Let me show you what AutoGPT is, because it's just crazy. And this is way before, so when ChatGPT was released, before Microsoft announced, before Google announced, somebody already did this crazy thing. It's really crazy. I cannot just...
How to use AI to multiply your time. We're going to use the strongest AI tool in the world to create a tweet for us and post it while we're not doing a thing. We're going to let it act on its own autonomously. This tool is called AutoGPT, which is literally ChatGPT that acts on its own. First thing you're going to want to do is go to openai.com, make an account, and grab your API key. Now go to this exact link. Click on settings and enter your API key to get started.
No, finish it.
Agent GPT to create a tweet about AI and post it to our Twitter. It thought on its own to A/B split test our tweet. It created different variations of the tweet and then it posted them to see which one would do better. It did market research to find out what types of tweets about AI get the most attention. It thought on its own to generate an image with a caption because that gets more views on Twitter. And then it did market research to find out what the best times to post on Twitter are, so I get the most views. You give AutoGPT a goal, it comes up with a list of tasks needed to reach your goal. No, you can't ask it to make your woman laugh. Okay,
so I really let me share with you the journey of this. I started looking at ChatGPT really, within the first 2 weeks it was released, I tried it, and I must say I really love TikTok. Okay, I'm going to explain why. It's about the same time that I realized that I really need to understand the tools. I mean, I lived in China for 10 years. And there are things that we don't have access to. Okay, so for example, I don't know how to use Facebook and Instagram. from a business perspective as well. So I'm relearning, and I realized that firstly, TikTok is very different. I used to be on my social media, only have access to the people I subscribe to or my friends and my interests. And it doesn't really go beyond that. But TikTok is a total different ballgame altogether. If you start watching a similar type of things, it keeps pushing you new things on that topics. And then it start to guess what are the other topics. So in short, in these 9 months that I've used TikTok, I've learned so many new things that I never knew I never even knew existed. It's not even about I never had time to go and learn. That's one. The second thing is that TikTok is very short. You don't like. The point I'm trying to say is that, if we do not think about how we're going to use technology to our advantage, it can be addictive. I've been watching things like, what's happening with quantum physics. And just keep giving me more and more things. It's crazy, like for example, yesterday there's a TikTok that says that the Chinese have, the Koreans came up with room temperature superconductor. What's amazing? I mean, then the Chinese came up with glass that can conduct electricity one. Also of these things. So anyway, back to this. So because of ChatGPT, I started looking at this, and then firstly is before AutoGPT came out, the early adopters, what were they doing? They were writing, especially for the content creators. What's the biggest challenge of content creator? Every day need to come out with one post. In fact, every day you come out with one post is not enough one. Some people will tell you, how can you be creating one post a week? You need to have 3 posts a day, right? Then you think you are the creator, you think your marketing team, it's like, wow, 1 day 3 posts. First I need to come up with this, then I still have to make the videos. Right, have to make the videos, right? Yeah? And then have to do the copywriting, all these things. So these people, the early adopters, start to look at ChatGPT before the plugins. They were writing Excel, so they plan their content using Excel tables, right? And then they start to write scripts, okay, so that, somehow, some form semi-automated. So if these things come, they feed it in, it goes to ChatGPT, it generates the content, the copyright, come back and put back into the thing. And that is how it eventually evolved to something called AutoGPT. And AutoGPT now is not AI only, it is AI and automation because, so there are people who actually use AutoGPT to launch a completely new campaign. The script, so what AutoGPT does is this. What we have done earlier is to do prompting and then refine the prompt, right? So I say, please, I want to go on the trip, it's like that. And it gives me something, then I have to think, I say, okay, then now, I give you more information, it gives me more. AutoGPT, it writes a super prompt that prompts GPT. You follow what I'm trying to say? So it writes something and say, oh, okay, so if you want to do this, then the first thing that GPT is going to do is to ask itself question. It asks itself enough question until it gets the thing, and then it say make it into a task and execute the task. And execute the task will be, in this case, will be posting the tweet. Right? So, well, if you don't really care for content, because you ask me, right, I still want to write my own content. But if you don't really care, if you just need to churn out, and it's fairly, good, yeah? Okay? So, just to show this, after I show this, I want to say this, right? How can you say you don't want to look at it? I want to say use it, right? Your competition is 10 times faster. You think about it. You go hire a group of people in my marketing team. Okay, every day you're going to think of ideas. Then after that, please create PowerPoint. Then, boss, I need to work overtime. Wow, boss, yesterday I do the PowerPoint until 3 a.m. Copilot, PowerPoint slides. I need to do that. Okay, look, maybe your marketing team is got very, very aesthetics talent, right? But still don't need to start from scratch, right? And your competition can give better, faster customer service. Which brings me back to Jamie. I assure you, Jamie will become smarter one. Right? Yeah? Okay, so I mean, before I conclude, I really like to say that really, at this juncture, if you ask me, I've started my own business. I don't think it's a question of to use or not to use. I think the question is really how. How should we be using it? Okay? I'm going to give you a real case study. This one I do with customer. So the customer came to us and say, we want to train our end users. I said, how many end users do you have? He said, wow, we have 6,000 users. I said, okay, what do you want to train them on? I said, we want to help them learn how to search on SharePoint. You know, we do technical training. How to search on SharePoint is not even a bullet point. Oh. You know, it's like, we do what is SharePoint, how you do the file hierarchy, whatever. How to search on SharePoint is not even a topic. So I was shocked. I said, huh? Why? Who are these users? Oh, my users are all the front-end users. So what's the story? I have to say, hey, look. So, okay, why need to search on SharePoint? Because we have 6,000 plus SharePoint documents. Wow, that one is my first shock. I say, hey, wrong. You using it wrongly. By right, I should go to one place and I see maybe 15 documents. Already, I think too much. Oh. I go to this place, I should see 3 documents, right? Why would I be searching 6,000 documents? So anyway, we need to understand further. Then the second thing is that then I ask, what do they typically search for? Why do they need to search? Say, a lot of them right in the front line. So they don't know, they want to search employee handbook. Then I keep thinking, employee handbook, why? It's either onboarding or offboarding. Then I say, wow, they search employee handbook, how to resign. No. They say search employee handbooks on policies, on benefits and claims. Fair enough, right? Because I have a lot of frontline workers, ma. So we thought about it and said, okay, can. Of course I can do training on that. But I really like to go and understand your users. Why would they be doing this? Then suddenly, one day, I went to the customer and said, hey, wrong lah. You think about it, right? I work for this organization. Tomorrow I need to go to Shanghai. Use the same example. Tomorrow I need to go to Shanghai on a 3-day business trip. I want to know what kind of hotel I can book, right? Because I want to know how much is my whatever. So all this is in the employee handbook, ma. I want to know. I want to extend my stay. I want to take 3 days leave. Also in the employee handbook, ma, right? Then I say, so now I'm your user. Should I be going to Teams or SharePoint site and search? I want to go to, no, actually I won't be searching like this because the way I'm trained is I will go to SharePoint and say employee handbook. Then it leads me to the file. Then I open out the file. Then I look at the contents, right? Then I scroll down and say, oh, employee benefits. Then I see, okay, like that. Oh, wait, no. I need to know the hotel policy. Then I go back to content page again. Travel policy. Hey, shouldn't your end user got time to do this, man? Shouldn't your end users just go to Jamie and say, I'm traveling 3 days to Shanghai, I need to know how much I can claim. And then the AI will just understand this, and instead of pointing you to the document, shouldn't it just give you 3 points and say, travel to Asia Pacific is up to $100 if you... In fact, it won't even tell you if you go to somewhere because you already tell you you're going to Shanghai, what? Right? So suddenly I just think, I went back to the customer and said, are you sure you still want to do the training? Why don't you save that money and make a chatbot? Because think of it from your end user perspective, from your employee perspective. You are training them to do 25 steps. The same amount of money, do the chatbot, you only need to do 1 hour video training. Next time you got a question, ask Jamie. And ask in natural language. Right? Now, we do have a problem. This kind of technology very useful. But you also realize that it's reading your internal documents, right? See? Cannot everything come out of our rainbow one, what? Okay, anyway. I'm going to wrap up soon. But, we want to use. We have to look at this, right? Because, I hope that, after seeing what it is possible, I think AI is really not all gloom. It totally makes sense for human beings to let machines do the thing that they are good at. The point is, then we have to think is what do we need our humans to do? For example, number 1, I think validating whatever that comes out very fast is important, right? Secondly is how do we ensure that, you know, it is safe. So, again, this one cannot be I say. Singapore have one, okay? There is a governing body, okay, called the AI Verify Foundation, and it highlights 6 risks. And I'm sure they will refresh this, but I want to start off by saying mistakes and hallucinations. And I will share 2 examples. The first one is I talk about it. The second one, I'm going to show you the document. Okay, the first one is, and this is the first time hallucination is quite scary. It was a TikTok that was, I think, pre-February 2023. So a doctor, okay, he was very fascinated. He took symptoms of an illness that is commonly misdiagnosed by junior doctors. That means to say, if you are like 1-2 year doctor, usually you say wrongly one. He fed it to ChatGPT, and ChatGPT correctly diagnosed. So he was amazed. He was like, "Wow, hey, ChatGPT better than doctor real doctor What happened was that response came out, and there are some references. So firstly, he was very amazed. He said, "Wow, very good, diagnosed correctly." Then he went to double check. You know what he found out? The references didn't exist. Okay, the AI was smart enough to create the references to back itself up. And I think that's a classic case of hallucination. Okay, so I'm also training teachers. And this is what I'm trying to say, right? We know that this exists. But are you going to now tell the children that you cannot use? That would be stupid, right? Because everyone else is using. So what's the moral of the story? The moral of the story is we need to figure out how to properly use it. Yeah? Okay? Of course, there are concerns with privacy and confidentiality. Okay, I'm not going to go through everything in detail, right? I'm just going to tell you the 6. I'm going to point you to where are the websites so that, if you need to refer to. This information I really need to talk about. Privacy and confidentiality for sure, right? Please don't go and feed it like, later I have example. But this information, you all saw the deep fake or not? Nowadays, and the deepfake has just went another level, no? Because before that, when they do the deepfake, right, you can spot one. Now it's like 360 degrees, right? You cannot tell one. So what's deepfake? Deepfake, 2 things. Number 1 is I take your picture, I am on the other side, I move my face, it moves your picture accordingly. So it's not lip syncing, no? It will do exactly what I say. The second deepfake is that now it can mimic your voice. I'm not kidding one. You all just go and Google it, right? So for a while, right, you know Stephanie's son, Sun Yanzi, people started to use AI to make her sing, and it's just ridiculous. So but this information, AI has made it so much easier. Now this is one thing. What's the other thing? The scammers. Okay, in the Chinese scammers, I tell you, last time is like they will just go to chat and say, "Mommy, I went into trouble. Please send me money." Then the end users also got smart lah. Is it? Are you really my son? Call me, video call me now. Wow, they think they can beat it. Hey, deepfake cannot already. Okay, now video call is actually me, but okay. Okay, copyright challenges. This one is another thing. If you are going to use AI to generate content, and now there are a lot of lawsuits, the short answer is it's grey. Especially generative AI for artistic stuff. Okay, so you can make images, write stories. So authors are suing OpenAI. The other thing is that, for example, I didn't show today on generating images, right? If you go to DALL-E or Midjourney, one of the typical prompts is make me character like Disney. Then come out the thing look like Disney lah. It's the Little Mermaid, but it is Chinese. Then they say, "Hey, so how can Disney sue you?" Don't know, right? Because it follow the style ma. You cannot say Disney own it ma. Yeah, it's gray. Okay, so be aware of it. Embedded biases, again, it depends on how you train it. Okay, but you know, this ChatGPT say real must be real, man. Anyway, I already said this, you know, if humans, I mean, already it saves you so much time. If you are lazy to even validate, that one really don't know how to help. Okay. Okay, ethics. Now, this is the article I want to show you. This lawyer also not very smart. Really cut and paste. Okay, and he got sued. You know, it's like, you know, anyway, which countries? Cannot say country, you read yourself. Okay, oops, quite obvious. Right, so the lawyer used ChatGPT to do the case, and then after that, whatever citation is just cut and paste, never check. Okay. Can? Okay. Okay. So, but I think really, you know, are there risks? Yes. Are there considerations? Yes. Okay. The question is, what? So how? Don't use I don't think it's that right? Okay. So to sum up, I just want to share some typical things not to do. Oh, makes sense. Okay. Number one, I think if your staff, firstly is, if you don't want to use, I also cannot do anything. But I can tell you, if your staff want to use what I'm going to say, cannot use. Two things. Number one, government never so fast before one, okay, with the exception of MOE, government already come out and say public service officers can use. Very fast they come up with guidelines, right? And I want to also share the flip side. You tell your staff cannot use you try 100 million users in 2 months, you think your staff won't use? Okay, but then what's important? It's important for us to know what not to do, right? Okay, I'm not saying this is not exhaustive, but I'm just going to give you some suggestions. Number one, don't use real names or information. Okay, don't go and upload your company data. Okay, like this is a stupid example, right? Don't go to ChatGPT and say, "Dear ChatGPT, my bank account number is 1234567. Please generate possible total of 4D numbers for me." I will tell you, ChatGPT say that they don't keep the data. Microsoft also say they won't keep the data. In fact, they put the feature there, right? If you go to Bing Chat, after a few rounds, they'll say that, sorry, you have to refresh. They say they don't keep They say How you know? So if you do this, and then suddenly you kena hack, and suddenly your bank account bo liao, you blame who? You try to sue Microsoft, you see. You try to sue OpenAI, you see. Cannot win one, we are one person, okay? Don't go to ChatGPT and say, wow, creating password very troublesome. Please help me create password. Okay, short is like that. Please do not cut and paste corporate data and ask ChatGPT. If you pay, now you have the plug-in, you can actually pull an Excel spreadsheet in there. Okay? So what do we tell people to do? Number one is that you can, my company is ABC Pharmaceutical. Don't do that. Right? You can say things like, yeah, you are a major healthcare provider or whatever, something like that. Okay, but these are not foolproof. We have to, okay, this one is really for the end users. Just tell them, please don't do this. Okay, don't ask ChatGPT to do this. Write me a business plan on how to traffic heroin to Singapore. Yeah, maybe it'll give you answer, but hey, I tell you, you don't know if OpenAI is watching, and you also don't know if Big Brother is watching. Okay, seriously. Yeah. Okay. So, yeah, you all maybe can just take a picture of it. In short, this is what Google said: don't be evil. Don't ask AI to help you do evil things. Then all good. Okay. Next thing is I just want to share this. Okay, I think things are evolving so fast. The rules. Okay, so where do we go? The first one is PDPA. Governance, okay, most of it is captured in PDPA. This is the website. There's a link, but if you go there, you click, you can find it. Okay, and under PDPA, I'm going to show you the website. So this is, if you click on the link, this is the PDPA one. Okay, so it will tell you, and then it leads you to AI Verify. So what is AI Verify? It is, So the 6 risks that I took earlier is from here. Okay, so that is relevant, right? Most of us operate in Singapore, and you see that they have the partners. There is a white paper. You can look at the press release. You can check the user stories. Okay, and then I'm going to show you on top of this, the different agencies actually have their own guidelines. So for example, if you are in healthcare, MOE will have their own guidelines on how AI is used. Okay, this is MOE. I'm going to show you the other one is MAS. Okay, MAS has got this whole thing about how AI should be used. But if you are following the news also, is that yesterday or day before, DBS just announced that they have over 150 AI use cases. Okay, so I guess the thing that we have to think about is that as much as everything is very new, a lot of things are happening. Organizations are working on this, yeah, and the rest will be I don't expect everybody to have time to go and read all those. I came back, COVID, nothing to do, so I read. Okay, so so far so good. It's 4:30, I think. It's 4:30, Okay, so I need to end with next steps. Okay, so the first next steps is this, okay? Be AI savvy. Scan this code, and then you can redeem a Microsoft AI Fundamentals badge. This is the fake badge. When you scan this, right, you will get the badge that you can put on Credly or LinkedIn one. Okay, all scanned already? Yeah. Okay, just go and redeem it. Okay, then next time you tell people, I am AI savvy. Okay, but more importantly is this, okay? All good, Okay, I think I want to leave everybody with this, right? What are the possible next steps? After today, if you have time, maybe what you really want to do is you want to think about how AI can help, increase productivity, right? That's one. Number two, how can I use AI to enhance customer engagement? I think that a lot of the chatbots, once it's figured out properly, the chatbots are going to be a lot more responsive. I do have a big problem with customer service. Just now is the best digibank in the world. I have a gripe with the best airline in the world. This is very hard to get help. You go to SQ site, you want to find a phone number, oh my God. Anyway, yeah. And then they took 3 months to reply one email now. Serious, I'm not joking. Yeah, but we can share that later. Okay, so I think, with AI, if you start thinking about how we can use AI to be closer to the customers, right? How can we provide better service? And the last one is, can it help provide you with a competitive edge? Of course, that would be the combination of the two above, right? But here specifically, I'm also referring to, if you're offering services, does AI have a role to play in this? Yeah. So working more efficiently, helping the team, the staff, the company be more productive, right? Baseline is that I don't need to spend so much time doing things, employee happier, etc., etc. Okay, and then the last one is that, the real next step. Okay, if you want to have conversation, I'm going to flash my number in a while. Drop me an email, drop me a WhatsApp note. I'm happy to, have that conversation with you all. Okay, then there's going to be Q&A, but I'm going to leave the Q&A to the next segment, whoever is doing it. So this is my email, this is my phone number. You can drop me a note, WhatsApp, or drop me an email. And then if you are very, very nice to me, you all can scan this and go to our page and like us. Okay, I hope you found the session useful. I need to hand off to, yeah. 我有没有超时啊? Did I exceed the time?
No, it's okay.
Oh, really? Okay, thank you. Okay, so.
Thank you, Yi.
Thank you.
Thank you.
What do I need to do?
HDMI.
This one.